Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday morning Facebook Live here at Briggs Health. I'm Jennifer Briggs, and I'm happy to report today that I am back in the office over the COVID. So thankful, because lots of people have not recovered from this disease. Um, so I thought I would talk today just a little bit about kind of the long haul COVID stuff. Because I'm feeling really good, but I'd also like to let my body kick the virus completely out rather than kind of going into some kind of dormant, semi-dormant state, which is kind of what the long haul COVID is. Now, I've had a few patients with long haul COVID stuff and kind of talking around with other practitioners. The main problems with long haul COVID seem to be phlegm stasis and blood stasis. So, phlegm stasis is really, kind of what you would think of, like if with that kind of really thick, dry phlegm that sticks around. And it can be stored in the lungs, but it can also go to other parts of the body. In Chinese medicine, could block that olfactory nerve. So for people who don't get their sense of smell back, that could be one of the reasons. That could be that there's actually just phlegm kind of blocking that. And then blood stasis, that's the kind of microclotting that they found happens with the disease that leads to the widespread organ failure and maybe also a factor in some of the neurological kinds of symptoms with the disease. But so, even while I was sick, I was thinking with this in mind that, how can I keep my phlegm levels down? And how can I keep the blood moving? How can I keep it circulating inside my body? So one of the things that I did while I was sick, because I didn't really feel that bad, was that I actually did a fair amount of exercise every day. I made sure to get up and do some exercise, and because I want to keep that blood flowing. I was taking herbal formulas too, but I thought that I would look up in my trusty dusty book here, Healing with Whole Foods. Lovely, lovely text if people are interested. But foods and spices which disperse stagnant blood. So, things that I could add to a soup or to even just sprinkle on top of my food or add to a smoothie at lunch. Turmeric, chives, garlic, onions, ginger, rosemary. I always forget about rosemary, but it's a lovely blood mover. Cayenne, nutmeg. Eggplant has some properties of moving blood, and so does white pepper, as opposed to black pepper. Spearmint. Apparently, butter has a little bit of an action of moving blood. So these are all foods that I could reach for or add to something that I'm eating to just give it a little bit of extra circulatory oomph. Also, alcohol has a property of moving blood. And so in small amounts, a little shot of whiskey or something like that, actually, in addition to exercise, a good brisk walk is something that I'm doing, that I'm making sure to get my steps in every day right now, just to keep that blood moving physically. So the other piece of it, the phlegm stasis, there are foods that I eat that I know can give me a small amount of phlegm. Dairy is something that, even on a good day, like teeny bit of phlegm after I eat. It kind of wants to stick in my throat. And trying to think of what else gives me phlegm. If I get after, if I start eating a lot of kind of things with a little bit of flour in it or wheat in it, then I will also get a little phlegmy. So right now, in terms of phlegm, I'm just making 100% sure to stick with foods that I know don't create phlegm. So like a plain lettuce salad with red wine vinegar on it, or mixed greens with red wine vinegar and olive oil. Um, I just don't have residual phlegm in my throat when I eat that. So that's kind of the type of meal that I'm aiming at right now. And it seems kind of boring. And yes, it's not the most exciting meal ever, but if that phlegm starts to build up, then I have an additional factor that is going to push me, potentially into that long haul COVID. It's a lot easier to not make phlegm than it is to get rid of it. So, let's see. I had here another nice little list of things that can actually help resolve phlegm and move it around. And then I lost it. Let's see. Dang it. I hate that. Sorry. Oh, here it was. Okay, page 350. Fennel and fenugreek, flaxseed. There's a fair amount of overlap between the phlegm herbs and the blood-moving herbs. So cayenne, garlic, other members of the onion family, fresh ginger, radish, daikon radish, mushrooms, seaweeds. Seaweeds are good for resolving phlegm. So this is a good time for me to snack on those nice little dried seaweeds. And in terms of herbs, nettles, coltsfoot, elecampane, and mullein are all good herbs to reduce the amount of phlegm. I'm actually also doing a teeny bit of marshmallow right now, as kind of an experiment, which helps moisten, because the phlegm that I do have it's a little bit dry. So I'd like to moisten that so that I can get it out of my system. I can cough it out and spit it out, so those are my main areas of focus in really kicking out the virus completely, and avoiding the kind of long haul symptoms. These are things that the Western medical people don't really know to tell people about this. So that's why I'm doing it. If you have further questions or comments about that, please feel free to email me or call the office. You can reach me. My email is info@briggshealth.com. That's BRIGGSHEALTH.com. I'm happy to make suggestions and advise you if you want to come in for treatments. I've been treating some long haul COVID people with just phlegm reducing herbs and blood moving herbs, and they seem to feel a little better. So I hope everybody has a great week, and I'm so happy to be back. And yeah, do call if you have any questions. All right, thanks.